I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and let me tell you, I just kind of went a little crazy buying new concealers. So let me go ahead and start off with those. I did purchase the new Huda Beauty, the Overachiever concealer, and I got the shade Marshmallow 02B. It comes, I really like the packaging. It's a squeeze tube packaging. There's 0.34, is it 0.34? 0.34 fluid ounces of product, so you're getting quite a bit of concealer in there. And then I really like the nice stainless steel like metal tip to it. It just feels kind of more luxurious like that. But onto the formula. I went to use it today and I could not get it to blend out, and I felt like it went on really kind of dry feeling, and especially for a drier skin tone like mine underneath the eyes, it just wasn't looking flattering. And I added more, and I was trying to blend it out to get it to be even underneath my eyes with a sponge, and I couldn't get it to not be like patchy. And then the more I was putting on, of course, the more drier and not cute it was looking. So what I ended up doing was mixing it with a tiny bit of the Cover FX Power Play concealer just to get it to be even underneath my eyes, because I already had all my skincare on and stuff like that, and I did not want to like wash it off and redo it. I used it was over the top of the Drunk Elephant C Tango eye cream, which I've been using, and it works great with a lot of my favorite concealers. This just did not go on well for me. I do feel like it covers decently, but it's definitely a drier, heavier consistency, which I've got some concealers that have great coverage that don't have that heavy feel to it. They almost feel very skin-like. So I'm not crazy about this. I've heard people talking about it that have really liked it. So maybe it's just because I have a drier skin type, but I really had a hard time trying to get it to blend out. So this is the shade Marshmallow 02B. I wish it was just a little bit more pink in tone too, but I'm just not crazy about it. And I do have it underneath my eyes today, but I have it mixed with some of that Cover FX, because like I said, I couldn't get it to look even underneath my eyes until I had mixed it to put some of the Cover FX over the top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there for kind of a color comparison, because these next ones, I hauled the P Light 1 from Cover FX, the Power Play concealer, a few videos ago, and I love this formula. It's really, really beautiful. Has a nice skin-like finish to it. It's really thin but covers really well. It feels comfortable underneath the eyes, and it doesn't feel drying or cakey. Really, really nice concealer. I did feel like it was maybe just a little bit too light for what I was going for, like, because I do have a little bit more color in my complexion now. So I did purchase the P Light 2 as well. So I have a little bit of P Light 2 mixed with that Huda Beauty concealer underneath my eyes today. I already know that I love the formula, and I got my mom to purchase one of these yesterday too, and she just told me earlier, she said, I really like that concealer. So I'm going to swatch these two as well so you can kind of see the colors of them. I'll put P Light 1. It's got like a big chubby little applicator. So this one is P Light 1, and then I'll put P Light 2 next to it. So this is P Light 2 right there. So it's just a little bit darker. And let me drag them downwards a little bit here. The next concealer is by Stellar, and it's the Limitless concealer, and I got the shade Light 01 or L01. This is the brand right here. It's called Stellar, and I purchased this off of Sephora. This shade of concealer matches my skin tone like perfectly. It has a nice, just the right amount of lightness and pink for my skin. The formula does feel similar to the Cover FX Power Play concealer. I really, really like this one. It has a little doe foot applicator. I'll go ahead and swatch it right over here. So this is the shade Light. It's got a little bit more pink to it than any of these guys right here. This one here matches my skin tone great, and the formula, again, it has that nice flex to it. It's got good coverage, and it feels really comfortable underneath the eyes. So I really like this concealer. How much product is in this guy? 0.2 ounces in this one, and then the Cover FX has got 0.33 ounces in there. And then I had placed an order on charlottetilbury.com. I wanted to give the next shade down a try of her Magic Away liquid concealer. I originally purchased the shade 1, which has more of a neutral, kind of warmy almost undertone, at least on my skin tone. And I also found that it was just a little bit too light. Originally, when I had tried the Magic concealer, I tried it with the Magic powder as well, and that has some like luminescent properties to it. I didn't think that powder was flattering underneath the eyes, but every time that I blended out this concealer, the formula of it is so nice, so skin-like. I really like the formula of this, but I think the shade was just a little bit too light and a little bit too neutral for underneath my eyes. So I went and tried the number 2 Fair, which has got a pink undertone, and this one here matches me really, really nice. I'm not totally crazy about the packaging. I'm not always crazy about these little doe foot applicators. I find like I have to twist up a bunch to get enough underneath my eyes, and then the little sponge ends up getting all somehow and gets dirty in the lid and stuff. I would have preferred like a doe foot or either a squeezy tube, but in any event, this is the shade 2 Fair, and this concealer, it's almost like it flexes with the skin. It is just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful underneath the skin. I do feel like, oddly enough, that the Cover Effects, the Stellar, and the Charlotte Tilbury, they have like a similar feel to them, all three of those. Like they have like this flex feeling underneath the eyes to them. So anyway, this one is the Charlotte Tilbury Fair number 2. And let me go ahead and swatch the shade number 1 next to it as well. So this is the shade number 1 right there. Probably in the winter months I could actually mix the two, because you can see this one does have a little bit of a deeper factor to it. I wore the number 2 yesterday and it looked so pretty underneath the eyes. In terms of the actual color though, my favorite colored one is probably this guy, because it's got a nice pink undertone to it. But I really like the Cover Effects, the Stellar, and I really like this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away. When I first tried it, again, the color was probably wrong for me. Also from Charlotte Tilbury, I got the Superstar Lips. It's a new lipstick product from her. They're glossy starlit lip looks, and I got 2 shades. I think that both the shades are pretty, but they're a little bit deeper than what I had kind of thought, but granted that they're more of a glossy sheer type of formula, I can get away with it probably just depending on what lip liner I put on. I have worn both of these and the formula feels super nice on the lips. It almost feels like hydrating. So they come in these little sleek tubes like this. I got the shade Sexy Lips. I swear one of these was called Pillow Talk. I could be losing it. But the sticker on this one says Sexy Lips right here. And it's kind of a rose shade. See, it looks a lot darker than I had thought it was going to be, but it's more of a sheer formula. So this would look really good with her lip cheat in Pink Venus probably. Or Iconic Nude, but that is the one in Sexy Lips. And then the other shade is called Happy Lips, and this one has got a little bit more of a pink tone to it, or tangerine kind of tone. It's a little bit lighter. So that one is Happy Lips, and that one is Sexy Lips right there in Charlotte Tilbury's new, what is the official name? Let me tell you. The Superstar Lips Glossy Starlit Lip Looks. And then lastly from Charlotte Tilbury, I got this luxury palette of Pops color-coded eyeshadows. It's a new quad from Charlotte Tilbury, and her packaging looks like so. I missed out on the Pillow Talk blush and the quad like this, and I hope so bad she restocks it, because I have like every single one of her quads since she started, and I'm like, I need to have my collection complete. And I heard really good things about both the blush and the quad, so I hope she restocks the Pillow Talk stuff. In any event, this one here is called Supersonic Girl Luxury Palette of Pops. And these are all really shimmery foil type shades. I have not used this yet. I get along with Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows pretty well, with the exception of her holiday palette last year wasn't my favorite from her line. This year's palette's beautiful. But anyway, let's give a swatch of this guy right here, so you can see what it looks like. It is out now. I think it's also available on Beautylish, if I'm not mistaken. I made my order off of her website. So just some shiny warm shades there. And typically her pop shades are like the last thing she kind of does on her eye look, and then she'll take her finger and put it in there and kind of pat it over the lid, is kind of what I've seen in some videos. These do have little tiny glitters in there. And I think over a tacky base, they're going to really pop for me. I'll probably put them directly on a base when I do end up using it. But at least you guys can see what those look like right there. So that's the Charlotte Tilbury Supersonic Girl Luxury Palette of Pops. And then last week, Marc Jacobs was doing a 30% off the website sale, so I thought I would go ahead and purchase was my favorite eyeliner gel crayon from him. I had gone through several of them. It's the shade Introvert, and it's no longer available on the Sephora website. but it is on marcjacobs.com. And I was kind of not sure about it because if Sephora doesn't have it, I'm wondering if it's a discontinued color and they still have some stock that they're selling on Marc Jacobs. Not sure, but I purchased the other shade called Top Secret, which is also not available on Sephora, and I got the shades and they're very dry feeling. I've got some other Marc Jacobs Highliner gel crayons that are still really creamy. These feel like they're possibly slightly dried out, which I'm totally sad about. Introvert has been one of my favorite shades too, and if they're discontinuing it, like, why, man? So this is the shade Introvert. They're not as creamy as the other Highliner gel crayons that I have. I'm thinking they're maybe older. And then this one is the shade Top Secret, which I also love this color. I ended up tossing the one that I did have in the Top Secret shade because it was really dried out. Like, I couldn't even get any pigment out of it. I feel like these ones are probably not too far behind. I did email Marc Jacobs and ask him about it and tell him that the two that I received are really dry. So hopefully they can get back to me and kind of fill me in on what the deal is with those shades. I'll try to use them on my waterline while they still have just a little bit of life in them, but I don't think they've got a lot of life left because they're pretty dry. Also from Marc Jacobs, I purchased another one of the Glam Glitter eyeshadows in number 90 Topaz Flash. I really like these little pots of goodness. I'm able to get them on directly over a base with a brush pretty decent, and then with a finger it's just a super high shine. This shade is really unique. It's like a bronzy taupe color with purple and gold micro glitters in it. And the thing about these is they just really gleam and sparkle in the light, and it's just really, really pretty. I'm very tempted to collect them all when it comes to these guys right here. I kind of wish I would have got a couple more with the sale, but this color is so pretty. I'm just going to use the cap here because otherwise I might just accidentally tip it over. This is what it, oh, come on, air focus. That's what it looks like. It's a very unique one. And it's so pretty. Like, in front of the light and on your eye, it just glimmers so beautifully. And again, it's got purple and gold and I think silver micro glitters in it as well. And they stick. They adhere to the primer as well. They don't like fall all over my face. They stay there all day, which I think is great. So that one is number 90 Topaz Flash. I think it might be my favorite one out of the three that I've got. And then Fenty Beauty came out with some more of her Stunna lip paints, Longwear Fluid Lip Colors. I purchased the red one that was the only shade in the line for a while. And I'm not an expert on liquid lipsticks, but out of all of the liquid lipsticks that I have tried, this has been my favorite formula, and I really hope that she expands the range. So I got the shade Unbutton, and it's a bit deeper of a warm nude on me than I originally thought it was going to be, but I still think that it's really pretty. It's one of the most comfortable liquid lipsticks that I've tried, and it doesn't feel like goopy or like icky on the lips. But this is what I have on my lips today. I have it on with Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude, and I just kind of went all the way to the edge over that Iconic Nude lip liner. But I just dipped it. I didn't have to dip it in at all. I pulled it out, used what was on here, and that was all it took for my lips. So this is the shade Unbutton, and it's a pretty warm nude shade. I really hope she expands the range because for somebody who's not really a big fan of liquid lipsticks, I really like these. I did also purchase the ABH Sultry eyeshadow palette, and I did a video on that, which I'll link it down below if you guys want to see some swatches and kind of how I feel about the palette. And then I finally got my hands on another one of the Kevyn Aucoin, the Neo Blush, and I got the shade Sunset. I've been wanting this shade forever, and I don't know what took me so long to purchase it, but I really like these blushes. I want to get the shade Rose Cliff really bad as well. I just figured that I have a ton of rose colored blushes like that, so I'd go with one that's maybe a little bit more unique. And this is just a really pretty coral. What I like about these is you can intensify them or sheer them out really easily based on the gradation of color in here. The gold half has got sparkles, and then as it moves over to the more coral part, it's a matte finish, so you can really kind of customize the shade that you're putting on your cheeks. I just really like these blushes. I do want all four of them. I do. So far I've just got I got the pink one and I got this one, which I put that pink one in my favorites a while ago. I wonder if I can swatch it sideways so you can see all the color. You kind of see it, right? It's a gradation, and then if I do, let's go like this. It's kind of the colors right there. So that is the Kevyn Aucoin, the Neo Blush in the shade Sunset. And then also from Fenty Beauty, I was in the Sephora store yesterday and they had a few pieces of her holiday collection out, which I was so excited to get the palette. This is the Fenty Beauty Killawatt Foil Freestyle Highlighter Palette. I think the packaging is, it's so pretty. It's so like holiday Christmas feel type collection. There is a set online that I want to get. I want to get her little pigment jars, the metallic. They're supposed to be all metallic, like 7 little pigment jars. I'm probably going to order those today. And I'm tempted by the little matchstick set too, but I don't know if I'll get those because I don't use the ones that I have enough to like justify it. Anyway, this is what I have. I've got this palette on my eyes, like the shimmery portion on my eyes, and then I was kind of going to do like a purple icy look today, and I wanted to use like Fenty on my eyes, so I brought in the Moroccan Spice palette, and it just kind of turned out like a warm and blue. So that kind of just went a different direction. Anyway, I do have this on my eyes, and I've got, let's see here, I've got these 2 shades right here on the top of my cheekbones and kind of where I highlight my face, and I got a little bit of this center one kind of on the Cupid's bow and tip of my nose right here. This is such a pretty color, that center shade. And then on the lid I have got, I think, this guy in the front and then this guy kind of throughout the back portion. And then I also dipped into this tangerine shade for blush on my cheeks. And there's something that's really pretty about this tangerine orange against like a non-really complementary color like this purple. I think it looks really pretty. So only 2 shades that I didn't use in this palette today are these 2 right here. I'm a fan of the products in here. There are micro glitters in 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say 5 of the shade have really fine, if not borderline, really tiny micro glitters in them. And then these 2 shades right here are more like they have a satin metallic type of feel to them. So let me go ahead and swatch them. There are 7 shades that are 0.1 ounces per shade. So here's the packaging. It is a cardboard magnetic style packaging. There's a mirror in there and it flips all the way back like that. So got a pretty decent amount of these on my face today. Like when I was using this today, I was like, let it snow. No, not really. For highlighter on my skin, I think the 3 that I can get away with are these 2 and then this one right here sheared out. These 2 shades do have a little bit drier consistency than these other ones. This center shade is just stunning. I really love the center shade. It's got a very like wet look to it. So those are the shades, and it's called a Freestyle palette. So I was just like picking shades and putting them all over. And then I also purchased one of the trios for the Frosted Metallic Lip Set. I got the one that's called Snow Days. I felt like I could probably mix these colors to be the most wearable for me. The packaging on this is like super cute. I love it. There's a sleeve on here, and then it opens up like this. And it has your little lipsticks in there. I'm going to keep them in here. Normally I would throw away the packaging, but I'm going to keep them in there. Rihanna's attention to detail in her makeup products is just something else, man. This here has got a gradient of a blue to a silver right here for there. And then you got your Fenty on there. So the 3 shades in this one are So Chilly, which is kind of a red and bronzy type shade. So this one's So Chilly right there. And then you have got What's Your Number, which is a gold with shimmer in it. So that one is What's Your Number. And then the last one is called Cuffing Season, which is a pink, like a hot pink color. And with this here, because there's a yellow in there, I can mix these 2 shades, or the 3 of them. I can mix these 2 together or these 2 together and kind of make the shades a little bit more a wearable color. I think that they're pretty. These 2 shades right here are pretty by themselves as well, but for something that I kind of wear, I could neutralize them just a little bit with that yellow one. So that last one is called Cuffing Season. And then I got one of the metallic eye and lip crayon sets. I got the one in Frost Bunny. There are 3 sets of these available. I had swatched these in the store yesterday. I swatched all 9 shades because there's 3 in each one. And no joke, I washed my hands with soap. I washed them several times throughout the day, went about my day, and when I got home, they were still on there. And I was washing my hands trying to scrub them off, and it took like a facial cleanser scrubbing to get them off. So I'm really tempted to buy that cool tone set because I'm thinking that they're going to last on the waterline really well. These ones here, the colors in here on my waterline will make my eyes kind of look bloodshot. So I'm probably not going to use them like that. I'm going to use them as eyeshadows, and then I might try them on the lips, but they're very, very long wearing. So this is the one in Frost Bunny, and it has that same type of packaging with the little flip top lid. I just think it's the cutest. So you've got 3 shades inside of that one, and there are 3 sets of these. So this first one is called Banana Frost. It's a metallic light champagne yellow. And then you have got Guava Mint, which is a kind of a bronze, more of a brownie bronze. That one is Guava Mint. And then the last one in the set is more of an orangey bronze, and this one is called Parka Princess. It's actually like a pink bronze. Rose gold, maybe? Right there. So that one is called Parka Princess. I have a few repurchases. I'm totally back on the CoverGirl, the Super Sizer Mascara, and the last time I had purchased it, they only had it available in the black shade, so I found one yesterday in Very Black, which is the shade that I like to wear. Just my favorite mascara. And then I bought another one of the Tarte Shape Tape 12-Hour Eye Primer Sticks. Mine is like down to the nubbins. This has kind of been my go-to since I purchased it. I feel like it holds shadow really well for me. A lot of shadow formulas work for me really well over it, and it does not dry my eyelids out. So I almost feel like there's a little bit of a hydration factor to it for me, and I do have a drier lid type. So I did go ahead and purchase another one of those. It's just a stick that if you guys watch my tutorials, you might have seen me apply it. Then I also got this Mary Mary moisturizer set from Belif. It has a full size of the Belif the True Cream Moisturizing Balm, 1.68 fluid ounces, for the same price, and it comes with a mini of the eye cream, the moisturizing eye balm, which it's decent. I just want to slather it around my eyes all the time, but I have to watch how much of this I put on, otherwise I can get little red dots, which is really annoying. It doesn't like provide like irritation, but they're almost like little blemishes as if I use that too heavy, and I just want to slather it on too because it has a nice hydration to it. But I've gone through a couple of one of these. I just got to be careful to how thick I put it on. And then there's a little Belif Aqua Bomb sleeping mask size in there as well. So you get those 2 for the same price as the cream. And I've been through countless tubs of the Belif True Cream Moisturizing Balm over the years. It's my nightly staple moisturizer. And then recently I've been really getting into Bare Minerals foundations again. Years ago, before I like did videos and stuff, it was like one of my go-tos. I always used Bare Minerals, and I'm kind of getting back into it a little bit. I have got the original version on my face today. I've got fair kind of in the higher points of my face, and then I've got the shade medium. I actually bought the big holiday tub that comes with 0.6 ounces of product. This is the shade medium, and it comes with a little like charm on it. I just got that yesterday as well. So I've got that on the outer perimeters of my face. But the other foundation, which is a newer foundation for their line, is called Blemish Rescue. And I hauled the shades Fair 1C and Fairly Medium 1.5C some time ago. And I really wish this had SPF in it because the finish of this foundation is just beautiful. I think it's really, really pretty on the skin. And the way I kind of like to put it on is like the Face 2 from Marc Jacobs. I kind of just get a little bit on the brush and just kind of push it into my skin before I buff. I think that the reason that I'm kind of getting into Bare Minerals again is because I no longer use the Josie Maran moisturizer, the SPF 47 that I used to use. That is a thicker, really hydrating product, and oftentimes powder over that really looked heavy. Now I use the Drunk Elephant Umbra sunscreen SPF 30, and I feel like this goes over it so much nicer than the Josie Maran. Same with the original formula. The original formula definitely has more of a shine factor to it than this one, but I purchased another shade. I got the shade Medium 3C, which is a few steps darker than the Fairly Medium. I was feeling like Fair 1C and Fairly Medium 1.5C together, I still look pretty pale, so I just wanted something to warm it up with, and I was wearing this yesterday, and like sometimes if I go like this and some foundation comes off, I can kind of see the differences in them. And this Medium 3C is like the same color as my skin. It's very bizarre. I have a very pink undertone to my skin, so I was like, I couldn't really see that some of the makeup wiped off with my skin, which was like, wow. So anyway, I purchased another one of the Bare Minerals Blemish Rescue foundations. This is just a pretty foundation altogether. And then when I was in Ulta, I was swatching the Bare Minerals lipsticks, and I hadn't remembered seeing this shade when the line first launched. And it's the Gen Nude Radiant Lipstick in the shade Crush. I don't know if it was an original launch or not, but I really liked the color. And it's just a really pretty peachy nude. Probably like the other 50 I have in my collection. But it felt really moisturizing, so I went ahead and purchased that. And then I also purchased the new Urban Decay Naked Cherry eyeshadow palette. I was going to ask you guys if you guys want a video on this, like a separate one. I've only used it once, so I don't feel like that's fair enough to give you my opinion on it just yet. So let me know if you want to see a video on that. Maybe I'll film it tomorrow. But these next two products are influenced by Lisa D1. I was watching her haul video last week, and she brought up these Lancome Absolute Rouge and Camila Coelho. I don't know if I'm probably butchering her name too, but it's these ones right here. Camila Coelho did a collaboration with Lancome, and there's two other shades too that I want to get. I think there's 8 shades in total, but I purchased 2 of them, and they're both kind of nudie shades, but the packaging is super luxe. It's got a flower right there, and then you push it, and then the lipstick pops out of the end. So this one is number 342, and then it's got little lips on it. I'm so tempted to buy the other 2 shades that I want. I'm going to swatch it from the back so that I can kind of savor the little lips. But this is more of a more sheer, easy to wear one. This has got little tiny micro glitter shimmers in it, and it's like a really pretty pink color. So that one is number 342. That one does have a name. It's 342 Day and Night. And then the other one is 344 Ipanema Sunrise. And this one is kind of a coral nude right there. We'll swatch that one right there. It's so pretty. These colors are so pretty. So that one is Ipanema Sunrise. There are 2 other ones that are more nude shades. I'm so tempted to purchase them. So that's everything for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.